What's up, everybody? Welcome to Simply Cyber's morning cybersecurity threat briefing. First things first, I'm your host, Gerald Auger, and in the next 30 minutes, we are going to be tearing down the top news stories of the day, giving professional analysis, having a couple sips of coffee or water or tea, having a good time with chat. Always nice to see you guys. If you're watching on replay, that clock in the corner, when it gets to zero is when we start. But for the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we're hanging out, saying good morning to everybody. Good morning, Kimberly. Hey, Lupe. Carrie, always nice. Michelle, good to see you. Thanks for the sub. Do love that. Hey, James. Guys, hopefully my audio's sounding good. I got a little ambiance music piping in here. Got a whole new desk setup. We're doing big things over here. Hey, Avasi, congratulations on wrapping up the semester. I saw your message about finals. Nice job. Anna Lynn, stay warm out there. Hey, Ross White. Tom Zacher, hello from Denver. Whew. Denver's a cool city. I have been to Denver a few times. Really enjoyed my experiences when I was there. Found a good New England Patriots fan club to watch a Patriots-Broncos game. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Randy. Hey, Andrew. Escobar. Good morning, team. Guys, appreciate it. Had a good time teaching this morning, 10 a.m. First things first, but 8 a.m. student teaching. Talking about information espionage, both at the nation state level and corporate espionage, which is far more rampant. One only has to look at self-driving car technology, electric battery technology, Rivian and Tesla. Corporate espionage, people, it's a whole thing. It's so much easier to steal data and intellectual property and research than it is to develop it yourself, not just from a mental capability of having the talent to develop technology, but actually the time it costs to, develop the technology. It's so much easier to steal it. Not endorsing that. I'm just explaining why it happens. What's up, Base? Good to see you. Cracking me up. Always nice. Just Ben. Hey, West Virginia. Good to see you. Oh, good. I can't wait. I am super pumped, guys. I made some big decisions. Base helped me out yesterday. It's not just a coincidence his name is Base. He's musically inclined, whereas I am not. Oh, come on. Making a pool for how long until the stream has issues? Brutal. I am making every effort to up the quality of this production and make sure that we don't have problems. And I'm about to reveal to you guys in a hot minute exactly one such thing. Guys, this right here is the mixing board that I've got. I'm going to be offloading the audio from my machine onto hardware. So we shouldn't have any more of these audio issues going forward once this thing arrives in a few days, okay? So pretty pumped about that. Guys, if you want to play along, go on over to cisoseries.com. This is the routine that we always use. Good news stories, and it's going to drive our talk for today. So without further ado, let's get into it. Thank you for being here.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
It's Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. Researchers find decryption for Hive ransomware. A research paper from the Kookmin University of Seoul documented a vulnerability in Hive's ransomware encryption, allowing for the recovery of the master key and restoring data. Hive uses a hybrid encryption approach that uses a symmetric cipher using a 10 megabyte master key of random data. Files of varying sizes are created using a specific offset of this key, which is stored in the file name, which makes it possible to extract the key. Using this approach, the researchers were able to recover 95% of the master key. Hive appeared on the scene in June 2021, operating on a ransomware as a service model. In the Google.
Okay, so we covered this story yesterday. So, not everybody's as diehard as us doing this every single day. But if you missed yesterday's broadcast, long story short, and then we'll move on to the next story. Academic researchers out of South Korea have figured out with a 96% success rate how to capture the master key for Hive ransomware. So if you happen to be exposed to Hive ransomware, if you have it in your environment, you don't need to pay the ransom. You don't need to rebuild from bare metal. These academics got you covered. Much love. Thank you so much.
Play Store, no one can hear you scream. The security firm ThreatFabric published a report on a new Android malware operation dubbed Xenomorph that is showing up in the official Google Play Store. This malware was discovered earlier this month, acting as a banking Trojan and using the accessibility features to overlay fake login screens on banking apps to collect login info. Xenomorph also intercepts SMS message notifications to defeat two-factor authentication. Based on analysis of the malware, it can show faked login screens from 56 banks across Spain, Portugal, Italy, and Belgium, as well as 12 cryptocurrency mobile wallets and several email apps. There is no main Xenomorph app in the Google Play Store. Rather, it's delivered as a second stage payload inside several malicious apps.
Okay, so very interesting here, guys. So a couple things here. Malware on Android isn't anything new. The way that this one's working is pretty clever, so it's worth sharing with your community. Basically, you download, like, there's a bunch of apps in the Play Store that will be, they're like almost like Trojans, right? Oh, got a member. Thank you, Stephen H. Listen, thanks so much for supporting the channel, Stephen. So with this Android malware, it's two things. One, it's infected in a lot of different apps. So very much like a Trojan, where it's going to tell you the temperature outside or allow you to put custom logos for your apps and stuff like that, right? But in addition, it reaches out and pulls this Xenomorph malware down onto your phone. And what it's doing is it's putting an overlay. So if you're logging into your online banking on your phone and you're typing in your password and username, it looks like you're typing it in, but it's just like a basic impersonation page where you're typing into a bad guy's thing. And I want to point out that they have cleverly figured out how to subvert multi-factor authentication if your multi-factor is an SMS text message. So, educate your end users, be aware, bad guys like to steal money. That's what they do. One thing I do want to point out from a practitioner perspective that I think you will really appreciate: when we talk about SMS messaging as the second form of authentication, yes, there are SIM card swapping attacks. And if you're not familiar with that, Google SIM card swap attack. It's really well defined, not super easy to do. This malware is intercepting SMS messages attack for the multi-factor. So a different way of doing it. If your only choice is to implement SMS as a second factor, you should still do it. Even though there are compromises to it, not doing it is not acceptable. Guys, I'm a champion of multi-factor authentication. I find it incredibly important. And if you are not doing it in any capacity, whether it's an email, whether it's a 6-digit PIN, whether it's a phone call, I don't care. It raises the bar of difficulty for the threat actors, and it helps protect you as an individual or your end users. So, I've heard people say in the past, like, oh, what's the point, like, of doing SMS messaging? It's terrible. They can do SIM swap. And it's like, yeah, they can, but they'd have to do it. You feel me, Jack? So put it on. Don't worry about it. The worst multi-factor is better than no multi-factor.
Linux leads in patching speeds. Security researchers at Google's Project Zero found that from 2019 through 2021, Linux bugs were patched in an average of 25 days over that 3-year period, with 2021 patches taking just 15 days on average. Google averaged 44 days to patch, Apple 69 days, and Microsoft 83 days, although researchers noted all platforms reduced patch times over the past 3 years. On the mobile front, both iOS and Android had roughly similar response times, with 70 and 72 days respectively. Project Zero generally provides a 90-day window for disclosing newly discovered bugs to allow for patches to be released. In 2021, only a single bug exceeded its fixed deadline, although 14% of bugs required an additional 2-week grace period from Project Zero after the standard 90 days.
Okay, so this is really cool. So what we're seeing is, okay, so the story is about how Linux patches faster than other things. That's fine and that's great. But really, for me, the takeaway is that Linux, Microsoft, Oracle, Google, iOS, Mac OS, like, they're all patching faster. This is awesome. Okay. That means A, that they're releasing patches faster, and B, that end users like us and, the practitioners out there who are responsible for pushing it to an environment are doing it faster. Patching is very important. And guys, I get that you can't patch all the things. Okay. I'm fully aware of that, but the things that you can patch, you should. And we've had this problem in industry. Again, IT has to do the patching, not InfoSec, although there is some intersection from time to time. But IT has to do it, and sometimes they have to do it during patch windows, or sometimes they have conflicting priorities and they can't get to it. what this report is showing is that it is happening, and it's happening faster. Now, Google Project Zero is an awesome group of professionals, like super elite cybersecurity professionals. A lot of times they find 0 days. They're doing excellent work. So definitely check out Google Project Zero if you're interested in learning more, because that is an awesome group. Now, they will typically find 0 days and then coordinate with the vendors in order to get them pushed out. And they do a 90-day grace period. Now, in certain exceptions, major things, they might wait a little longer, but for the most part, their policy is 90 days. So we're seeing that all of these technologies are actually getting patched faster than 90 days. So the patch becomes available before the release comes out. So this is just really great news for us, guys. Multi-factor authentication, patch your crap, those two, and privileged access management, which is hard. Multi-factor and patching is a little bit easier. Privileged access management is hard, but those three things incredibly reduce your risk surface. Incredibly. So definitely take that seriously. Let's keep rolling.
Truth Social launches on the App Store. The Trump Media and Technology Group published its social media app Truth Social in the U.S. App Store. The app currently has a waitlist, and users report having issues creating accounts and logging in. Trump Media CEO Devin Nunes said the goal is to have the app fully operational by the end of March in the U.S. Reuters reports 500 users had early access to test the app. Similar social media apps promising less censorship, like Parler, Getter, and Rumble, have had issues staying in compliance with iOS and Google Play terms and conditions, and have often shown lax security, leading to hackers defacing them soon after launch. And now a word from our...
So, I mean, this is a news story in that, it's a competitive social media platform akin to Twitter that's not going to, I would assume, ban Donald Trump from posting on it and Donald Trump's camp. So from a pure technical perspective, this is interesting. I don't know how fast they're rushing it out. You've got to think, Trump is a polarizing topic. Politics in America is a very polarizing, divisive topic right now in the current 2022 climate. So there's going to be a lot of security research being done on this particular app. And, I'm sure when bugs get found, because they will be found, or data breaches occur, it's going to be big and splashy and make front page news. So I guess put a pin in it. First things first, they'll be here. Stay tuned. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of research done. Whether or not this thing takes off, whether or not it becomes a platform that gets mainstream adoption, it's going to have a lot of security research done on it, frankly. So that's what I take away from that.
Sponsor, Tynes. Tynes' host may be forced to suspend services in the EU due to the shifting laws around data transfers to the US. This came to light after the European Court of Justice invalidated the previous Privacy Shield data transfer framework in 2020. This preliminary ruling by Ireland's Data Protection Commission impacts Meta's ability to transfer data to the US, although it's unclear what is in this ruling, just that it was sent to Meta. According to the DPC's Graham Doyle, Meta will have 28 days now to make submissions on this decision, after which it will prepare a draft decision for other concerned supervisory authorities, aka other European data regulators. So we're probably still a long way from Meta being forced to stop data transfers to the US, but this decision likely means there is still regulatory movement in that direction.
All right, so this is all about Meta and privacy, basically about wholesale vacuuming European Union citizens' data and bring it over to the United States. We saw a couple weeks ago where Meta was talking about pulling out Instagram and Facebook altogether from the European Union. This litigation is going to go on for a while, and I know data transfer takes time, but like for every second that the litigation's going on, they're still pulling the data because they don't have like a cease and desist right now. So I wonder, my initial thoughts is this like a race condition where it's like, how much can we pull down before we settle out of court because we don't care anymore because we've already pulled all the data? On the other end of it is, will Facebook/Meta just build a platform, build a separate instance, kind of like Meta EU, where they can just do that data analysis and processing over there? It costs a lot of money. Again, follow the money, right, guys? It's going to cost a lot of money to stand that capability up in the European Union and put it in place correctly to align with GDPR. Whereas if you can just pull the data faster, maybe it won't matter by the time the European Union gets something in place to actually prevent Facebook from doing this. Just as a quick data transfer thing, because it is relevant from a cybersecurity practitioner, it's important to know that like when we are recovering from ransomware, say you have like the best backups in the world, right? The best. If your organization gets hit, you still, even if you pull the backups down to restore from a known good backup, you can only pull the data down at a rate that is consistent with the pipe that you've paid for to have that data. And by the way, you could have a huge pipe right here and then a small pipe in the middle. It's only going to come through on the smallest pipe, right? So it could take days, weeks, maybe more to literally pull the data down, to copy and paste the data, right? So that is time. We have seen some instances, like this is legit, where you can just like drive. I think Amazon Snowball is like an example. It's not one-to-one for what I'm talking about, but if you Google Amazon Snowball, I think that's the truck. But like you can literally drive an 18-wheeler, and instead of a milk crate on the back of it, it's like a data center, and you go to like your cloud backup and you plug it in. And it obviously transfers way faster. And then you literally drive the truck to your data center and plug it in and restore. And like, this is an actual capability that's out there. And it's literally out there because it's faster than copy and pasting down from your cloud instances. So all that's a long way to say, when you are like legitimately testing your disaster recovery models, and when you're legitimately testing your business continuity from a ransomware incident, don't just let Carl in IT be like, we would just restore from backups, Jerry. Next. No. Like, how long does it take to recover? What order are you recovering in? What is the minimum viable business critical applications that you need, and what data do you need? And how old does the data need to be for us to be actually making money as a business, Todd, right? So these are the questions that you really have to ask, and the thought process you have to go through when you're doing true business continuity instead of some lame checkbox tabletop exercise that isn't actually produced well. Okay, I got a little spicy there. I don't know why. Spicy!
CISA releases Cybersecurity Toolkit. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency published a guide with free cybersecurity resources and services to help organizations with incident response. This includes resources to reduce risk exposure before an attack and tools to help after a security incident. Software provided in the guide includes open source tools and other CISA-specific software. The guide advises organizations to regularly patch software, implement multi-factor authentication, upgrade unsupported software, and replace default passwords.
Listen, I'm not going to say I just told you so, but hello, CISA advises you to patch and put in multi-factor. Hey, you know what? Great minds think alike. I'm just going to leave it there. Like, I literally just got off my soapbox telling you to do that. Love it, love it, love it. Oh,
I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it, love it, love it.
Okay, I do feel good. Guys, I am so like pro CISA right now. I'm so on board with Jen Easterly and the direction she's taking CISA that like when I see this, it just makes me feel good because I feel like I'm aligned with CISA in some capacity. Jess Bishop, member of the Simply Cyber community, I hope she's in chat right now. Hey, Jess, she actually shared on LinkedIn the link to this. But you guys, CISA did a fantastic job of having this big list of things. Is this it right here? I think this is it. Are you guys able to see this? Yeah. So this is the website you want to go to, and they've got it broken out by different kind of groupings and different vendors. I know you can't see it, but guys, these are all hyperlinks to these tools. This is a repo of free tools broken across different things. This is an awesome resource. This is an instant bookmark. Bookmark it. On Friday after lunch, you know, things are kind of quiet. You guys don't have a big weekend planned. Cozy up with the CISA free cybersecurity tooling set. Look through them. You know, maybe if I get some time, I'll make some videos for Simply Cyber, produce content. I don't have a lot of time right now because I've got a big announcement coming up on the 28th that's consuming a lot of my focus and energy, but more about that later. But guys, this CISA tool set is absolutely dope. Like, so thank you. Thank you very much, CISA, continuing to dominate.
Logistics company pauses operations due to ransomware. The Seattle-based Expeditors International was forced to shut down most worldwide operations over the weekend after the result of a cyber attack it described as a significant event. While the company did not mention the exact nature of the attack, Bleeping Computer sources say this is the result of a massive ransomware incident. This impacted the company's freight, custom, and distribution activities while it attempted to restore from backup. Expeditors did not provide an estimate when operations would resume.
Okay, guys. Um, yeah, it could. Okay, this is probably the like this is a PR person trying to hedge. Could have a material adverse impact on our business. I don't know if they're publicly traded or something, and that's why they're kind of cushioning that. But when you suffer a global ransomware attack, it has a adverse effect on your revenue and operations, no doubt. So I've never heard of Expeditors, but guys, when we talk about global logistics and supply chain, right? Things are made in Europe, things are made in China, Taiwan, Korea, Bangladesh, United States, right? And we have to move it around the world. And the way we do it is on tractor trailers and cargo ships, right? I know a lot of stuff is digital nowadays, but the clothes you're wearing, the headset on your head, the monitor you're looking at while you're staring at my mug, that was all built and shipped from somewhere else, right? So when we are talking about global logistics, it gets really complicated. You've got freight on board. What's in the milk crate? What truck is it going on? What's the order of taking it off the boat and sticking it on a truck? Where's the truck driving? Does the truck have enough gas? Well, who's driving the truck? Who's expecting to receive it? Is it all paid for? Like, guys, it gets really, really complicated really, really quick. So this sucks for Expeditors. Whoever the ransomware threat actors are that did it, they are probably pumped because this is a significant client to or victim to attack. If you would like to dig a little bit more, I know some of you work in logistics, okay? If you want to dig a little bit more, or if you work for, a Fortune like 500 company and you want to dig some more, check out Maersk, 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 or Maersk. I'll pull it up in a second. And what happened to them when NotPetya hit Ukraine? NotPetya was not targeting Maersk, and they are really the biggest company, and they suffered like billions of dollars of impact. In fact, it just got resolved recently because they went to their insurance company for cyber insurance, and the insurance company was like, oh no, this is an act of war, no way we're paying this claim, and they ended up paying it. But dude, if you want a legit use case of how bad you can screw up a business, definitely check that out. Let me just see if I can get it really quickly. NotPetya attack Maersk. Yeah, this was like one for the bookmarks. Yeah, right here. Okay, so this says $300 million. I'm telling you right now, it was significantly more than that. Lost revenue, perishable cargo that spoiled or expired, and a million other things. So, in fact, there's a Wired story on this one. I'll move on in just a second, but I'm excited about this one. This story is so interesting because literally all of their domain controllers, which is kind of like how Active Directory works or how you manage a Windows network, global company, all of their domain controllers got compromised, and they would have been screwed if not for one domain controller in an African country that was temporarily offline because the internet was sketchy in that country. They ended up finding it and having to like literally fly someone there, copy and paste it onto a thumb drive, and then like copy that thumb drive outward and fly people to all the domain controllers worldwide. It's a fascinating story on how Maersk recovered from that cyber attack. But again, that's a homework assignment. Dig into Maersk and dig into the recovery. I think Wired magazine did a fantastic. Thank you, Base. I think Wired magazine did a fantastic write-up on this one.
And broadcaster hit with wiper malware. According to a report from the security firm Checkpoint, Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting was hit with a cyber attack on January 27th, which allowed the attackers to briefly display imagery on state TV. This appeared to use a custom-made malware, which was able to exploit backdoors in broadcast systems and take screenshots of displays, as well as log configuration files. It's unknown how the attacker gained initial access, and Checkpoint did not attribute the attack. The intrusion also installed a system wiper that corrupted files, erased the master boot record, changed passwords, and deleted backups. The researchers noted that while the malware itself was extremely sophisticated, the tools to launch it appear to be fairly low quality, indicating it might have been executed by an insider.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So, so interesting attack. The tools that they use, again, we talk about TTPs, right, guys? The tools they used were not incredibly complicated, but getting the access That was the challenge, which is why they're suggesting perhaps it was an insider. It is a wiper. It's a wiper, so it deletes everything. So the logs on the systems probably won't be there. I don't know if the extent of wiping went to the Active Directory controller, which is where hopefully you're logging in, or your authentication mechanism is happening when you're logging into the environment, whether it's over VPN or remote desktop or something like that. One interesting thing, this is a more advanced security control, but one worth noting for practitioners out there, people looking to get in that may not be thinking about it. One control that is more mature, you don't see it often, but would directly help with this is, like, let's say you wipe everything. A lot of times you can actually write audit log files to a audit log server in an immutable storage way. So it's like write only. You can't write over data. And it basically is like a ledger, like a transaction ledger, like, dare I say, blockchain, but it's basically like that. So you always have, it's literally, so like when this happens, wipers, you don't lose the auto log, and you have a total picture of what happened. Also, if you see someone fudging with the integrity of data, you can roll it back. And that's really the benefit of that. You would see these in like financial institutions, like the Fortune 50 financial institutions that really need to be spot on with the balances and transaction data between two parties. But again, I digress. It's not often you get to talk about immutable secondary audit logs servers. And you know what? I love information security, so I get to talk about it. I kind of crowbar it in there when I get a chance. Okay.
Thanks for listening to today's.
All right. Thanks for listening to today's stuff, guys. Hopefully you like the new vibe. I am working a new desk setup here. I'll be posting it on the Discord server. Show your setup. I spent all night last night. My wife actually assembled it. I spent all last night, putting my tech on it and stuff like that. I'm super pumped. I got the hardware audio interface coming, so the quality of the production, guys, I seriously appreciate the YouTube memberships. Again, you don't have to pay anything to be here, but the people who do support the channel, I take the money and I invest it back in. So we're going to have better lighting, better audio, so we won't have these problems with things going down or me sounding like I'm underwater. Totally love it. Guys, real quick, if you are interested, this Thursday, we are bringing Zach Hill on, brand manager over at TCM Academy, and also a couple 100,000 subscriber YouTube channel, IT Career Questions. He's a great friend of the community, and he's going to be doing most of the talking on Thursday, and he's going to be telling all of us and all of you how we can help branding help us get a job, whether it's a new job, like we're not happy with our current job, or we're unemployed and we want a job. Branding is a long-term play that you can, really capitalize on. And once you kind of start it and get it going, it's like a flywheel. It'll start feeding into itself, and it will help you. It will help distinguish you as an individual. It will help set you apart from other candidates in the field. And it's just going to be great. There's a million different ways to do it. Okay. I'm super pumped. And just as a little teaser, like next Thursday, the Thursday after this, we're having David Meese on, who is getting active on LinkedIn, started a YouTube channel. He's doing some great stuff. And I actually lined it up perfectly these ways because Zach's already been down the road or up the mountain and back a couple times. And he's going to be giving us that perspective and those lessons learned. And David is just starting his journey and beginning to really brand himself well. And I want to get his perspective from that journey. So it's kind of a two-part series. I hope you can join us very much on those days. Guys, I love chat. I love what we're all doing here. Thank you so much for being here, Anthony, Ricky. We saw some new people in there. Absolutely love it, guys. It's Tuesday, February 22nd. Tomorrow will be the 8 a.m. show for First Things First. If you want to keep the conversation going, connect with like-minded professionals, go to simplycyber.io/Discord. It'll redirect you and dump you right into the Simply Cyber Discord community, where we're sharing free resources. Jess Bishop shared that CISA free tools yesterday on the Discord, so you could have got a leg up, could have got it going faster. We're going to be doing it all. I got a boogie to my job. But guys, stay tuned. I'll continue to drop Easter eggs throughout the week, and with a big reveal on Monday, 28th, about something huge that's happening to me personally. It will help the show. It will help Simply Cyber. It'll help It'll help a lot of people, frankly, and I'm super pumped to share it with you. So guys, be good, stay tuned, and we will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Cheers, everybody.